Hey, it's great to see you guys. I'm back to the Chicago studio, and it's great to be with you guys. I really just wanted to touch base with you guys today and go live and really just say thank you very much for tuning in. We have just hit past 45,000 followers here on LinkedIn on that platform, and the other platforms we'll talk about a little bit later. But listen, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to talk about handling objections in sales. So, seeing that I'm talking about handling objections in sales, if you're in sales, then you see this all the time. But before I do that, I really want to talk to you about, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, right? This is just for entertainment purposes. But if you haven't seen the cryptos lately, they're taking a little bit of a pullback, and that pullback, there's going to be a spring forward in fall. So Ethereum right now is sitting at 37.47, and Bitcoin's at 61,959. And I could go in a whole bunch of other ones like XRP and Cardano and Litecoin and Matic, and I mean, there's a whole bunch. But if you really want to get some gains, my guess is they're all going to go up by the end of October. Matter of fact, we're going to be in a bull run by the end of the year. So I'm putting a prediction on Ethereum by the end of the year of $5,000. So I really think that's going to happen possibly by the end of October. So I just want to give you that. And now back to handling sales and objections. You probably understand, like, how do you do this? But really, do you have a process? And I know, and you know what? Every prospect you speak to has some sales objection. They really do. Or reasons why they hesitate to buy your product or use your services. If they don't have those reservations about your product or service, it might be your product's price. Maybe it's the value. Maybe it's the relevance of their situation on purchasing ability. Maybe they don't have a budget for it. Maybe they didn't forecast for that. They would already have bought from you if you had the right brand essence or the right marketing. You know, we use empowerment marketing, and they do a fantastic job by us, and they kick butt each and every week, and our stats keep going up, KPIs and everything else. In an ideal world, you want to really partner with the right people. Your prospects are already willing and able to buy from you. Thanks to your lead qualification process. Do you have one of those? Are you in the lead qualification business? Did you set up a process for you and your organization already? But unfortunately, we're not living in the ideal world, are we? Most of us are like, I don't know, cowboying it up, flying by the seat of our pants. To be successful, sales reps must learn how to both discover and resolve these objections. When objections happen, it is not the time to just give up. It's time to re-emphasize your product's value. Yeah, value added. So hopefully you learn some tips you need to know about objections and handling them during this live stream. So as we move forward, what is objection handling? What is it? First thing first, it may seem obvious, absolutely, but what exactly is objection handling? It's when a prospect presents a concern about the product or service that a salesperson's selling, and the salesperson responds in a way that alleviates those concerns and possibly may even change the prospect's mind about going forward in this commitment or deal. Some reps argue with their prospects each and every day. It kills me. They try to apply too much pressure, and in the end, the prospect loses trust and strengthens their position. That's why these salespeople are just like missing out on opportunities. To overcome these objections, there's a process with 4 basic steps. Have you applied these 4 basic steps? Do you pay attention to these? So first off, let's go through these. First off is going to be to listen. Listening is such a great domain. The first step, listen. Just be quiet. Take it all in. Let them speak first. You don't want to just stand there or try to talk over your prospect. Not at all. Especially when they're trying to tell you everything that they hesitate about. You need to actually listen to what you are saying first and then listen to them and what they have to say. All right? So as we're doing this, you really want to set that up. Everything they hesitate about, there's a concern. Take note of that while you're listening. Put it in your mind as a mental note. And rather than jumping in with an answer or cutting your prospect off before they finish telling you all of their concerns, let them have their time, their moment to speak. Honestly, they want to tell you what's going on. Let them honestly speak freely to let you know what's going on. By listening to their concerns, it'll help your prospect feel like, I don't know, you're genuine, trying to help them, and have their best interest at heart, which helps the reps' chances of closing the deal each and every time. And so many of our reps, your reps, you, fail to listen. And listening is such a powerful tool. The second step is to understand. Yeah, understand the process. Understanding the process is understanding. It's easy to misunderstand someone, especially when we don't always say exactly what we mean. And even when we try to, our words might be misinterpreted. After listening to your prospect, try paraphrasing what they already said so they know that you were honestly, authentically listening to them. How often do we get distracted by everything, right? And you can just show them you understand what they said. Then, if there's something you, misinterpreted, like wasn't fully listening, they now have a chance to actually correct you in what you were interpreting and give you exactly what they want or their concerns. This is especially important when you are talking to a prospect over the phone or Zoom. You know, this non-face-to-face environment, you lose a lot of information. You miss those social cues. When you are not there in front of the client, it is so easy for there to be miscommunication. So always verify that you guys are on the same page. I mean, really, verify. Like, make a mental note looking down going, okay, he or she said this, and he or she said this, and he and she said this. Take a moment. Verify. When you verify, you can quantify. But you can't until you do so. So always verify that you guys are on the same page before continuing on. The third is to respond. Yeah, respond. So it doesn't matter if the prospect's concerns don't seem like a really serious issue to you. Remember, it's all the perspective. You just need to acknowledge them and make them feel like everything they say is valid. You don't have to say, yes, you're right. You just listen to them. You don't have to say, yeah, but no. Just listen authentically. It's really important that you respond properly and address the most important objections first. Get those to the top. The biggest one first. Once you work through the biggest barrier to move forward with a deal, you're closer to actually closing the deal each and every time. Maybe you'll find it's not a fit. But bring that deal, the biggest problem, up to the front so that you can really resolve that, especially when you're responding. Do your absolute best to resolving their issues right away, especially if you can do it on the fly. If not, let them know that you'll get back to them so that you can actually talk to the person that is the person that you're going to consult with that has the information for you, and you'll get back to them as soon as possible. Let them know with an upfront contract when you'll get back to them. It'll be a start to a good relationship, and it will help them trust you in every step of the way. Are you game for this? Are you really? Most people aren't. And the final, fourth step is to confirm. When we look at this last step in this process of handling objections, it is to confirm what we both agree on. Imagine saying that you'll meet at Starbucks in Chicago and you both say, yeah, well, I'll meet you there. And you both end up at different Starbucks and you both think the other person's blowing you off. Did you really confirm? It sounds obvious, right? We all think these steps are obvious, but when we have a process that we can actually check off like a PMP and go through a process, it's awesome. When you're confirming with the prospect, you're relating the objection and confirming that they're able to overcome it as well. Confirm what the objection is. Confirm that you have an answer to it. Yeah? The customer or prospect will be happy to move forward with the deal if there's a confirmation. This is signing the contract. This step is really important because there's no point in talking or taking any more time to overcome the sales objection if they still won't move to the next step or get closer to securing the business. Always remember that there are some prospects that just won't budge at all. They just won't. And will never close the deal. And most times they're looking for the cheapest deal. We'll never be the cheapest. But they're looking for the cheapest deal, and they're going to go ahead and continue on in their life dealing with mediocrity and people failing them. They'll make it, but they like the stress. They like being a victim. They like going through that process. These aren't objections. They're not. Just move forward. Now, after confirming the prospect that you're able to overcome any concern or issue that they may have, make sure that you're a stand for them. Make sure you follow through with them each and every time. And the most important is ask appropriate questions. Ask your prospect if they're happy with the solution. And if you needed to, explain the solution into further detail. Some people are visual, some are auditory, and some are kinesthetic. They need to feel that you're there and the product or service is really working for them. Even if you have a solution, right? The prospect might not be ready to buy. That's okay. But it's a chance to get them to accept a solution in the moment, and then there's a better chance that they'll say yes to you in the future. It is also going to build that rapport with them. The prospect now knows that you can handle issues and address their needs each and every time. If you don't do this, you're just spinning your wheels. So let's take a look and see if we have any comments, questions. Hey, regards. I like it. When you started Becker Logistics, how did you overcome your sales objections and become successful? By failure. Success is 98% failure. It really is. So the people that are failing and you're like, I'm just going to give up. I'm going to stop making phone calls. I'm going to stop sending emails. I'm going to stop visiting customers. Get off it. Because it takes so many failures to be successful. I've been doing this now for 24 years with Becker Logistics, and I've been doing this since 1990, 91 in logistics. Yeah, I started when I was 20, 21 years old in logistics. Let me tell you, I've failed a lot, a whole bunch. And I failed today. I was out of integrity on something. Came back from Phoenix, Scottsdale, and my car was dead. So I had to get a ride in to work. No more questions. So that's great. Listen, if you really like the content that we're having here, please just like it. If you really like it, make a comment. Or if you're like, if we're knocking out of the park and something open up with you, please share this content on your profile so that other people can know about it as well. So in conclusion, I really hope that you were able to take something away from this. I mean, really, growing Becker Logistics from the ground up. I've gone through plenty of objections and failures, but it's how you approach these objections, and try each and every time, try to turn the situation around, pivot. We've all pivoted over the last year and a half, 2 years with this whole pandemic. The process seems like a nuisance to some people, right? Because they don't get to cowboy it up and just like not have something that they have to memorize 4 steps. Wow, it's terrible to memorize 4 steps. But once you get the hang of truly listening, understanding, and responding properly, and then finally confirming the solution, it'll be like second nature to you. You can always use it with your partner, your kids, whatever the case may be. So thank you very much. If you have any other comments, questions, stories from your professional career, please add them in the comments below. With that, God bless you. Grace and peace. Have a great week. Thanks, guys.